Hello boys and girls, welcome to the second week of pre-K through second summer reading program with the Ingleside Public Library. Today's book we are going to read The Three Little Pigs, a tale about working hard. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs who lived together with their aunt in a little cottage at the edge of the forest. She was a loving aunt and had sewn each little pig his own colorful coat with big, shiny buttons. Each little pig slept in his own little bed, and each had his own little bucket for food. But as the three little pigs grew bigger, the cottage seemed to get a little bit smaller. So one day, the three little pigs set out to build their own house. The first little pig decided to build his house next to a stream. He liked the idea of living close to the water. This way, he wouldn't have to walk through the forest to the stream and then all the way back. He could play in the water whenever he wanted. After the first little pig picked the spot for his house, he saw that all the other animals were playing in the sun. "It's much too nice to work all day," he said. So he built his house very quickly out of bundles of straw and rope. Then the first little pig skipped off and splashed in the stream. The second little pig wandered further along the road. Then he stopped and sat down under a big shady tree. "It's far too hot to work," said the second little pig. So he decided to take a nap instead. When he awoke, he gathered some sticks and built his house in no time at all. Then he sat down again under the shade of the big tree and watched the bees as they buzzed from flower to flower. Now the third pig also wandered down the road. He saw the other animals playing. He felt hot from the sun. As he walked, he remembered hearing about a big bad wolf who lived in the forest. "I better build a strong house," he said. "I will build my house out of bricks. I don't want the big bad wolf to catch me." The third little pig worked hard on his house all day. He didn't stop to play or take a nap until his house was finished. Then he joined the other two little pigs who were playing. La da 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 da. In a short while, it began to grow dark. The birds flew to their nests, and the rabbits The rabbits hopped into their burrows. The bees flew back to their hives, and the third little pig noticed that all the animals were going to their homes. He decided to go into his house to be safe. "He is being silly," said the other two pigs. "There is still time to play." They started to sing and dance and jig. La 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 la. At that moment, the big bad wolf jumped out from behind the trees. "Help!" the two little pigs cried, and they ran to their houses as fast as they could. They reached their homes just in time and locked the doors. The big bad wolf raced up to the path to the first little pig's door. "Let me in!" the big bad wolf growled in a low voice outside the house made of straw and rope. "No, no," cried the first little pig. "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." And the little pig jumped into his bed and hid under his quilt. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," cried the big bad wolf. And so he did. Then the first little pig jumped out of his bed and ran as fast as he could to the house of sticks built by the second pig. He dashed inside the house just in time and locked the door. Little pig, let me in," growled the big bad wolf in his loud voice. The two little pigs huddled together in fear. "No, no," they each cried. "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chin." And the two little pigs hid under the table. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," cried the big bad wolf. And so he did. The two little pigs quickly crawled out from under the table and ran as fast as they could to the house made of bricks by the third little pig. They dashed inside just in time. Little pig, let me in," growled the big bad wolf in his loud voice. "No, no," cried the little pigs. "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chin." "Well, then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," cried the big bad wolf. The big bad wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, but couldn't blow the house down because it was made out of brick. By now, the big bad wolf was out of breath. "All right," he called to the pigs. "I'll climb down that chimney." The first two little pigs hid in the cupboard, but the third little pig went to the fireplace, where there was a small fire. He fanned the flames to make them higher. "Yow!" yelled the wolf as the flames scorched his tail. The big bad wolf jumped out of the chimney and ran away. He was never seen again. And the three little pigs lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you for joining our second week of summer reading program. Hope to see you next week. Have a good one.